So yeah, now we're going to go meet young Doc, or attempt to meet him anyway.
And Michael here has actually skipped talking to Doc, where he explains how the DeLorean still exists, and apparently when lightning hit it, it made a duplicate because of magic and science. I don't.
Right.
So it's probably for the best that he skipped that part, but
It just makes everyone sad.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they went with that and not just Doc built another one.
That'd make way more
That
sense.
that's I mean that's just what I assumed before I got to that point. I was like, okay, he built another one. That's not like the most difficult thing for him, I'm sure. But no, it created a magical clone.
Magical clones work. It's Back to the Future.
Marty just walked by someone he should have noticed. Oh, here we go.
That guy looks familiar.
Yeah. Marty is not always observant.
No.
And I always
do feel
like
kind
too,
of.
this happens in the movies all the time. Like he always like forgets about time travel. Like he's just oh what a, I had a good example in my head. I just lost it, but he just kind of stumbles through everything and he never remembers that like how he got to where he is in the first place, or like that he never remembers what time period he's in,
Yeah.
and he always references things that haven't happened yet and confuses everyone.
He does.
Yeah.
I feel kind of bad his grandpa has to eat in a soup kitchen.
Yeah, do they address that at all?
He just said that he was hungry, so he stopped in the soup kitchen. Like his house is like a block down from here. We find out later
Yeah.
on. Like, he just really likes.
You would think being like an accountant for a mob boss, he'd be making a little more.
Yeah.
I guess you're right. He just got hungry. Oh. Which that has
like
implications though. If he is able to afford better food and he's here eating soup at the soup kitchen, like doesn't that make him kind of a jerk?
Yeah, he's stealing it from the homeless
Yeah,
people.
you know.
So I really like their tomato bisque. What can I say?
Well, I guess it's not exactly packed in here, is it?
That's true.
Hill
I do
Valley
like Kid Tannen's
have a
purple
big
suit.
homeless problem.
No, I think there's one guy over here in
Yeah,
the corner.
there's the one dude. That drove me nuts for a while. Because I spent so long trying to figure out how to open the stupid door.
See, this was one of the more difficult puzzles in the entire
Yeah.
Series, I think. That's why I liked this one more. Is there was actually at least a little bit of challenge to it.
I don't know. I never thought, like, I never got the impression that the puzzles were too easy. I mean, I guess there weren't a lot of points where I got stuck and had to like look it up, I guess. But that was a positive for me. I don't know. I'm also extremely impatient. If it takes me more than 5 minutes to solve a puzzle, I'll start looking for hints somewhere. So, just, I guess not everyone plays that way.
No.
You ever use a website called UHS Hints?
UHS Hints? Nope.
It's a tips website for adventure games where like they'll actually give you hints in the style that they do in like Telltale games, where they'll give you progressively clearer hints as to what you're supposed to do next.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
really
actually fantastic.
Cool. They've been around for a while, I think. But yeah, I always go to them first instead of Game FAQs or YouTube or whatever, because at least that still gives you an opportunity to sort of figure it out for yourself. Like it'll give you a hint that'll set you on the right path instead of just telling you exactly what you have to do. Like exactly like how the hint system in these games is supposed to work.
Mm-hmm. It's sort of like, have you played the Professor Layton games?
I haven't actually.
Okay, well, it's the same sort of thing in there, where like the first one is kind of vague, and the second one gives you a little more, and the third one's like, this is what you need to do, you idiot.
Yeah, that's a Puzzle Agent does that too. In fact, same kind of game. Although I guess it's also by Telltale, so that makes sense. Hey! Now getting our first glimpse of teenager Doc Brown.
In his fancy vest.
He's easily my favorite character in the whole series.
No, I like him a lot.
And I think when we get to the Game Cola year-end awards, I know it's a bit of a ways away because this is, August? But I'm going to try to see if I can push for him for best new character, to see if I can like cheat my way into that. So I think there's an argument that young Doc Brown is a different enough character from normal Doc Brown that he could be considered new.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Oh, good. And I have your
In fact, old Doc Brown by the end of this series is a completely different character because Marty's messed with the timeline so much.
That is an excellent point. But yeah, I think my favorite parts of the series are hanging out with young Doc Brown and interacting with him because he's a great foil for Marty. They really work well together. Kind of makes me wish we could trade old Doc for young Doc somehow, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to work that way. So yeah, the idea is here we're trying to get young Doc Brown is working on a rocket-powered drill, and we want to get it from him so we can bust Doc out of prison. Which he's there, by the way, in case anyone missed it, because he has been accused of burning down the speakeasy.
Mm-hmm. Which seems like a terrible way to break someone out of prison, because that's going to make a ton of noise, and you don't really have any quick way to get away. Like, what's that drilling noise? Oh, it's the guy with an
What happens to the wall? Where'd the wall go? That's weird.
Like that was like Doc's best idea. I know Michael Gray in his review sort of complained that he didn't like coming back to like the same town square in all the other episodes, but that's something I sort of liked because you got to see how it changed over time.
I mean that's something
I thought that was kind of cool
about the movies too. Yeah. And I think they do make them different enough in each episode too. That you're not doing like exactly the same thing going to the exact same places.
I agree. Yeah. It's not like the same set pieces.
Yeah, exactly. Especially toward the end of the series, it goes like completely off the deep end.
It was something I kind of missed in the 5th episode because all those were like very small, segmented puzzles. It wasn't like a bigger area to walk around in.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you're not a fan of the 5th episode.
No, that was
what
my
I
least
recall
favorite
from your review.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just love that. For anyone who hasn't read our reviews, we published 2 reviews that talked about Back to the Future Episode 5 on GameCola.net. GameCola.net, video game humor. Everyone go check it out. Plus 2 reviews, one by Nikola here and one by Michael Gray. And they pretty much had the same exact, or like the opposite opinions of one another. It was kind of awesome. Like they would actually say things like Nikola would say that the voice acting was, I forget if you said it was good or bad. Bad. You said bad. Like, he would talk about how a specific actor playing a specific role was really bad, and then Michael would say that exact person was great at that role. And they wrote these reviews completely independent of one another. So I really enjoyed that.